Yeah, so this guy works for Green Sefton, and he's got one of those sort of Google Earth backpacks on with GPS and cameras. So of course my first thought was, is he down here lay the land for someone to build a house? But I got talking to him and he said no, they're just keeping a check on the sand dunes to see how they're dealing with the storms, whether or not they're coming up or going down or what's going to happen to them. He walks around once every 6 months, takes loads of pictures and does really detailed GPS height measurements. I'd say in the past 5 years they've probably retreated down here about 6 foot, but they could bring a shed load of sand down here and refill that. Well, the red flags are up at altcar and there's even a car. I've never seen a 4x4 drive down here before. Things are getting serious. Are you following me, mate? A few years ago we were thinking of buying a house here, but really, you know, it's they call it Dead Man's Alley because it's just full of people with 1 foot in the grave. This always gives me a feeling of Thunderbird's secret spy base. Some fire engines and a few tanks in there. Things are afoot. It's not Ukraine, is it? I have no clue why, but for some reason this path gives me a sort of a cosy nostalgia feeling every time I come down it. The bike's coping really well with this sand, especially so many footprints in it and breaking it up the sand surface. Obviously that 4x4 had dropped off some kind of army guy at the end to make sure people don't walk onto the beach when they're, you know, bloody firing bombs off. Can't really see because he's too far away and I didn't want to cycle towards him, but he's built like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I need your electric motorcycle and your crappy gloves.
This stuff is actually a complete body workout. Problem is, fat bikes, the pedals are quite far out, you know, there's a good distance between your legs and it's wider than these tracks are, so you constantly got to think ahead about where your pedal's going to be. Another scratch, probably get tetanus again. Because I'm working on my friend's house right next to the dunes, this is effectively my dinner hour. I've nipped out for a couple of hours. From her house to where I entered, about 100 foot. I'd say there's something wrong with you if you don't have a fat bike. If you live next to this. I have noticed the hub's getting a bit whiny. No surprise really, seeing as what it's been through. I've never ever greased it or cleaned it. It's been underwater loads of times. Have a listen. It's not that bad, but I'm going to have to get in there, aren't I? Before it gets worse. These are all the tricks of the trade. The sand that's been under the shade is a lot easier to ride up, so you climb as much as you can and then turn in at height onto the sunny bit. You end up with a good eye for how grippy sand's going to be. I know I'm coming across like Lawrence of Arabia, but I have learnt a few things. Back breakers completely packed in, making this very dodgy indeed. Fitting a mud hugger on the rear end makes quite a big difference to the noise. Really resonates the sound of the hub drive. But mounting it can sometimes help. This path actually leads to the £20 million mansion that's here in the woods. It was a local lad who made his money from mobile phones, I think. He's a really nice fella. You know, this is around 12 o'clock on a Monday, and I've been out now for about an hour and a half, and I've only seen one dog walker. It's just incredible. The amount of people that live within 5 miles of this place, live within a mile of it. No one comes down in the week. It's fantastic. It's just for me.
You know I'm down for whatever tonight.
Ha! Just got the "where are you" phone call. Been out for 2 hours. I'll have to nip across the dunes and make me way home. A quick stop for a ham and cheese toastie at the station. And a practically empty train ride on the way back. Thanks for watching. See you again next week.
Yeah. Yeah, baby.